Good morning. I have set myself a large task for today. It may not get completed in one day. It may take over the week. However, I have this large stack of books. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 books. As you can see, they're all Canadian. And I thought it'd be fun to read the first chapter of each book and decide if I'm going to keep the book and try to read it in the next month or two, or just take it back to the library. And this way you can maybe get some ideas of if you would like the book or not. Because the reason I started this channel was to read Canadian literature and find Canadian authors that I like. And so I hope that if you're clicking on this video, you're also looking for a good Canadian read. So hopefully by me randomly checking out these books in the library, reading you the synopsis, and then telling you my impressions on the first chapter, you may be inclined to pick one of these books up. So I'm going to try to read all 14 throughout the day. I don't have the kids today. I mean, I have Charlie here, he just woke up, but I'm taking him to be with my mom and my grandma today. So I have all day to complete this task with my other errands and chores. So we will see how far we get. I have to go get the baby. I wanted to start with one, but he woke up. So I will get the baby, and I will see you in the next clip. Okay, I'm going to start with the 2 YA books, and this one I actually did start reading a little bit ago when I got the ebook. So I did like it, and I do want to continue reading it, but I will read it out to you for the purposes of this video. So this is called Lessons in Fusion by Primrose Madayag Nasan. She's actually a local Winnipeg author, which is so fun. The book is set partly in Winnipeg, partly in Toronto, which I love. So 16-year-old Sarah, it's pronounced Sarah, thank you, okay, has a successful blog creating fusion recipes. When she's invited to compete on CyberChef, a virtual cooking competition, her twists on her Baba's recipes are not enough to pique the palate of the show's producers. She is pushed to present dishes that present her Philippine X. Philippine X. Oh my gosh, where's the word I want to show you? Because I'm pronouncing it Philippine X when I read it. Here. Instead of saying Filipino or Filipina, she just does the gender neutral or the gender encompassing Filipinx, I guess. And then she mentions partway through the book, my mother prefers to use the word Filipino, but I prefer the gender neutral Filipinx. So I don't think it's right or wrong to use either. And it's a preference. It's whatever you choose. So the book makes it seem. Okay, she is pushed to present her dishes that represent her Filipinx culture, but these flavors are foreign to her since her parents raised her emphatically Jewish. To survive CyberChef and find her cultural identity, Sarah must discover why her mother turned her back on all things Filipinx and learn the true meaning of fusion. So yeah, I read the first. Sorry, I'm just reading about the author. I think it's Primrose Madayag Nasan writes from a distinctly Filipinx, Canadian, Jewish, and women's perspective. Her plays have been produced by the Royal Manitoba Theatre Centre, Winnipeg Jewish Theatre, and Sarasvati Productions. She is also a food writer for the Filipino Journal and promotes Manitoba restaurants and artisan products at Peg on a Plate on Instagram. She is the mother of 2 Filipinx Jewish boys and lives in Winnipeg. Wouldn't it be so cool if I ran into her somewhere? I don't even know what she looks like. I have to find her. I should get on her Instagram and follow her. Okay, so like I said, I've already read the first chapter and I think it's good. This is written during the pandemic. We have our main character, Sarah, and her 2 friends, and she has a food blog. And as you can tell from the synopsis, she's going to get recruited to compete in this MasterChef type show called CyberChef. And we follow her, but we also follow Poppy, and Poppy is the director for recruiting, I think, at the food and drink channel that's in the book. So yeah, I haven't read a YA in a long time. We'll see how it goes. So I will actually read the first chapter of this book. This is the second and only other YA that I took out. I never even go into the YA section. It's because at the library near my place, the children's section is like here, and then the YA section is right behind it. So I can still keep an eye on the kids when I browse the YA section. So one day I just kind of wandered in there and found these two. So this is Pretty Furious by E.K. Johnston. It says, "Good girls get even." So let's read together. "You will never suspect us, but you'll always wonder how we did it and why. In the small town of Eglinton, Ontario, 5 good girls have had enough. They've experienced the best of what their community has to offer, but they've seen the darker side too. Together they've decided that it's time for a reckoning and that justice is their privilege to give." Maddie, Jenny, Mags, Louise, and Jen. So this is written by E.K. Johnston, the #1 New York Times bestselling author of several YA novels, including the LA Times Book Prize finalist The Story of Owen and Star Wars Ahsoka. Her novel A Thousand Nights was shortlisted for the Governor General's Award. The New York Times called The Story of Owen a clever first step in the career of a novelist who, like her troubadour heroine, has many more songs to sing. La la la. She lives in southwestern Ontario. Oh, and this was published in 2023. I think it's important to know. I don't know why. I think it's nice to know when these books were published. And this one, Lessons in Fusion, was published in 2021. Okay, so I'm going to read the first chapter of this, and I will get back to you on how it is. This is a lot of characters. Am I supposed to remember all of this? And there are more. Is this supposed to be like your list of suspects? You have everyone written down so you can say who you think. No, we know who they are. They're the ones that are murdering. Oh my gosh. Okay, wow, this is a lot. Okay, I'm kind of into it. This is gonna go into the maybe pile. I would have gobbled this up when I was a teenager, like when I was in high school. It's like 5 friends. I like what she says in the first chapter. She's like, you have to fight to keep your 4 best friends from elementary school up until now, and they're going into grade 12, into their senior year, which is so true. She's like, you know, sports can pull you apart, being in different classes can pull you apart, boys, whatever. And so yeah, I liked that part. So it's going in the maybe pile just because am I really gonna spend my precious reading time reading a YA? Like, I don't know if I start reading it. Like, based off the first chapter, yes, I liked it, but like, is it a book I'm actually going to really enjoy? This is gonna be a 4 or 5 star. Like, is it just gonna end up being a 3 star probably? So do I really want to spend the time? So I'm gonna put that in the maybe pile for now, and we'll see. Maybe, like, depending on what the other books are like, it'll go into the yes or no. I just realized I cannot film all these 14 books in one video because I just took 4 minutes to read the synopsis of that book, and I just talked too much. So 4 minutes, like 5 times 14, the video's gonna be over an hour. So I'm gonna have to split this up into nonfiction and fiction and make 2 separate videos. So from here on out, this video is going to be the fiction, and I'll make a separate video for the nonfiction. And I'm just thinking in my head if I have to change the intro and stuff. Okay, I am back home, and I'm going to tell you about The Immortal Woman by Sue Chang. Let's just start off at the back. A sweeping generational story of heartbreak, resilience, and yearning, revealing an insider's view of the fractured lives of Chinese immigrants and those they leave behind. LeMay, once a student Red Guard leader in 1960 Shanghai and a journalist at a state newspaper, was involved in a brutal act of violence during the Tiananmen Square protests and lost all hope for her country. Her daughter, Lynn, is a student at an American university on a mission to become a true Westerner. She tirelessly erases her birth identity, abandons her Chinese suitor, and pursues a white lover, all the while haunted by the scars of her upbringing. Following China's meteoric rise, LeMay is slowly dragged into a nationalistic perspective that stuns Lin. Their final confrontation results in tragic consequences, but ultimately offers hope for a better future. By turns wry and lyrical, The Immortal Woman reminds us to hold tight to our humanity at any cost. I've read about the author. I think there's back here. Oh, my arm gets so tired from holding up my phone. Sue Chang is a Chinese-Canadian writer. Born and raised in Shanghai, she is the daughter of a former, reluctant, in brackets, Red Guard leader. Her fiction has been recognized in Prairie Fire's Short Fiction Contest, the Canadian Authors Association, Toronto National Writing Contest, the ILS Fence Fiction Contest, and the Masters Reviews Novel Excerpt Contest, among others. So she lives in Canada now and must be a Canadian citizen. I did read the first chapter, and the reason I'm drawn to this book mainly is because of the socialist aspect. I'm equally fascinated and horrified at socialist countries, especially during this prime time of the Soviet Union, Mao, in Cambodia, in Vietnam, North Korea. And no matter how many stories I hear or read, it's sometimes hard to read because it's so horrifying what these people had to go through and the lives they had to lead, always on edge, always in secret, never being able to trust anyone, and just living alongside atrocities and having to pretend that you either agree with it or don't see it. It's so messed up. And in the first chapter we saw that her brother is part of the Red Guard, and he comes into her classroom along with his other Red Guard mates, and they condemn the teacher. They hang something over her head. I can't remember what it said. And she gets, I don't know where she gets sent, but she's gone just for, having what they called the old guard. So anything before Mao, poetry and stories in the classroom. So yeah, I am intrigued. This is a yes. I am going to keep this one around. So now we are on to the next. All right, here we are with The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. How pretty is this cover? It's shiny. The artwork is beautiful, the flowers, the colors. So nice. Oh, okay. So, the iconic Bridge Kingdom series begins. A sweeping, sizzling fantasy romance filled with political intrigue and passionate love from the New York Times bestselling author of A Fate Inked in Blood. A warrior princess trained in isolation, Lara, I'm gonna go with Lara because Lara doesn't sound very pretty. Sorry to all the Laras out there. Lara is driven by two certainties. The first is that King Aren, A-R-E-N. King Aren, Lara and Aren, of the Bridge Kingdom is her enemy, and the second is that she'll be the one to bring him to his knees. The only route through a storm-ravaged world, the Bridge Kingdom of Ithacana enriches itself and deprives its rivals, including Lara's homeland. So when she's sent there as a bride under the guise of peace, Lara is prepared to do whatever it takes to fracture its impenetrable defenses and the defenses of its king. Yet, as she infiltrates her new home and gains a deep understanding of the war to possess the bridge, Lara begins to question whether she's the hero or the villain. Ooh, I like that. As her feelings for her husband transform from frosty hostility to fierce passion, love, like a enemies to lovers trope and a forced, is it forced marriage, forced proximity, like fake marriage trope. Love. Lara must choose which kingdom she'll save and which she'll destroy. Oh my gosh. I don't even remember, like, I don't think I read that. I don't know where I got the idea to get this from, but the thing is, like, fantasy is so hard for me. Like, to find a good fantasy that I love, I'm like into is so hard. I'm so critical on fantasy. Ooh, a map. Okay. Let's see this map here. So that must be the bridge. It is. Okay, I'm really excited. Don't get your hopes up, Sarah. Don't get your hopes up. So she has 2 other series, the Malediction trilogy and the Dark Shores series. And that other one that was mentioned, A Fate Inked in Blood. Okay. When was this published? 2024. No, 2018. Copyright 2018. Okay, so this is kind of old. 7 years old. Okay, let's jump in. Don't understand the choices made in chapter 1. This is, I don't know. Am I gonna keep going? 430 pages. I don't know. Just like, so this Lara, she has 11 sisters. There are 12 of them total. They're all half sisters, all from like a different wife of the king. And he came to the compound to get the bride to give to the king of Ithacana. And she's like, and none of us were gonna live an hour past this dinner. Like, my father was sure that we were all gonna die. And then apparently Marilyn was the chosen one. He had chosen her. Everyone knew that. Then all the girls are served their soup, and somehow she, which was poisoned, but I don't know by the king or by her. I don't know if she killed her sisters, because she says a comment like, I hope you all find the freedom that you deserve. And she's like, Father, you're wrong. I'm the one that's going to bring the bridge kingdom to its knees. So I don't know who poisoned the soup. I don't know how she finagled it that she didn't get the poisonous one. But it's messed up that she, like, if her and her sisters are so well trained, like they're supposed to be, they could have taken the king, his soldiers, they could have taken over the kingdom, okay? Like, but anyway. So I don't know how this is going to go. Is the whole story going to be a bunch of choices that I don't agree with and don't understand? And is this main character, like, is she another super independent, selfish, like angry, aggressive tomboy? Like, I don't want another, like, they're all the same. All these fantasy female characters are all the same. Like, I had hope at the very beginning, because it was like, oh, I think all the daughters were assigned a color, and she was assigned the color pink. She's like, yeah, I don't like the color pink. But then she puts on these heeled sandals and she's click, click, clacking down the hall, and I'm like, heck yeah. Like, I want a female main character who, like, embraces her femininity and isn't trying to be like all the other guys that are around, or all the other guy warriors, and she's trying to essentially compete with them, and like it's like who's got the bigger, you know, ding dong. So this is a maybe. This is a maybe. I'm so nice and cozy on the balcony. Okay, I already think I'm gonna return this. I can't remember what this is, and if it's short stories, I'm definitely returning it. Yeah. Yeah. A novel in 14 stories, which I don't get those. Like, I don't get how it's not just a novel. Like, it's a bunch of short stories to make a novel, or are those just chapters in a story? Anyway, a novel. The thing is, like, this summer I discovered, like, I'm really just not a short story person. Like, a collection of short stories, I don't think it's my thing. You know, I've tried a few over the years, and I tried one this summer, or two this summer, and yeah, it's just like, it's just not it for me. A novel in 14 stories, East Grand Lake is a lovely, thoughtful, warm-hearted tale of life at the lake with a big family. Following the Murphy clan from one evening to the next drink. Okay, this actually sounds like I'd like it. So I guess like one night is a short story. I kind of love that, actually. Okay. Following the Murphy clan from one evening to the next during their annual visit to Grandpa Murphy's cottage, Tim Ryan captures the many tiny important dramas that occur simultaneously, sometimes invisibly, when everyone gets together. A pair of brothers hunt frogs, the girl cousins make a bid for supremacy, a boy is afraid of the end of the dock, over one sun-soaked day, the Murphy family wrestles with grief, aging, betrayal, mental illness, and the many small fictions that occur when people share their lives. Written with humor and compassion, the authenticity, East Grand Lake welcomes readers into the complex inner world of a large and loving family. This is a book for everyone who misses or wishes for summer at the lake, which is so Canadian. Tim Ryan works and plays in and around Calgary, Alberta. He lives with his wife and daughter, a bossy cat, and a curious rabbit. Oh, this was done by the University of Calgary Press. I mean, that's cool. Okay. I don't think I'm going to read the first chapter because that's going to be like a whole short story, and I want to see how long it is before I commit. Let's see. Okay. It's going to be a no. I think like it would be a great read. It's short. It's only like 167 pages. And I think it's probably like wholesome, and yeah, there are lots of themes going on, as the book suggests at the back, but it's just like too many books, too little time. I feel like I really need to be like decisive. I need to say no to something. So this is a no. I think I'm just really in the mood for nonfiction lately. So that's my next video. Well, you saw I have to make 2 videos. So the next video will be the nonfiction ones, and those are the ones I'm much more excited about. So, okay. Moving on to the next fiction. This is Gull Island by Anna Porter. This was published in... Oh, that's so pretty. And I really like, this is like a really good quality book. Like it's a paperback, but it's like that soft, like rubbery material. This was published in 2023, so this is a newer book. Okay. From an award-winning writer and historian comes a haunting new psychological suspense novel about a young woman who visits her remote family cottage seeking answers to a murky past, for fans of Megan Miranda and Lucy Foley. Don't love Megan Miranda. I read 2 Lucy Foley, 2 or 3. And I think like one of them I really liked. I know The Paris Apartment I did not like. I think she's The Hunting Party, and I can't remember if I liked that one or not. When her estranged father goes missing, Jude is persuaded by her mother to find his will. She travels to the family cottage on remote Gull Island, glad to be away from the city and to have the chance to sort through old memories, but is unsettled by what she finds there. While contending with the neglected cottage and encroaching wildlife, Jude looks not only for her father's will, but also for photographs of herself as a baby, desperate for proof that she was loved as a child. However, loneliness and terrifying dreams soon wear on her, bringing back frightening memories. Thoughts of her distant mother and intimidating father, her jealous sister, and her mother's mysterious friend infest Jude's increasingly clouded mind. Then a fierce storm sweeps away her boat and severs her from the outside world. Forced to reckon with long-buried truths and filled with the terrible sense that the cottage may be haunted by more than just the past, Jude begins to fear for her sanity and her life. Okay. I don't know what to think about that. Anna Porter, oh, look at her, is the award-winning author of 10 books, both fiction and nonfiction. Most recently, Deceptions, and In Other Words, How I Fell in Love with Canada One Book at a Time. I have to read that. She has written 5 mystery novels, won some awards. She is an officer of the Order of Canada and has received the Order of Ontario. I have no idea what that is. I assume she lives in Ontario. Okay, well, let's read the first chapter and see how this goes. I want to read the other one, the one about how she fell in love with Canada. Okay, I'm not going to say no to this one. I love the setting at a cabin in the island. The spooky setting is perfect for fall, like it's October, so technically it's spooky season, so I think I'm going to keep this one. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint. Hello from Fort White. I came for a walk. I can only do about 25 minutes because the trails close at 4:30. But anyway, I wanted to read the synopsis of this one here. This is Some Hellish, a novel by Nicholas Herring. It has the Writers' Trust of Canada winner. Pay attention, not since nights... Oh, this is someone's excerpt. Okay, these are all excerpts at the back. Is there a synopsis for the book? Did I pick up this book based off of everyone's quotes? Apparently. Okay, let's read these then and see what this is about, if I can remember. Not since Nights Below Station Street or the masterpiece Lives of Short Duration has Atlantic Canadian literature seen a book as heart-wrenchingly beautiful as this one. The clarity and the quality of the writing, so stark and so pure, should be enough. There are single lines you'll read over and over. Wow, that's amazing praise. But Nicholas Herring also has a larger poetic vision, equal parts physical and philosophical, that first takes in this whole world, then tenderly holds it together. This is a powerful story about people who live and work between the sea and the land, and there's elemental power pulsing through its every page. That is quite the review. That's probably why I took this from the library. Wow. Like The Old Man and the Sea, if the old man were a middle-aged maritimer and the big fish were his own life, his pain, his addictions, his deep love. I know nothing about The Old Man and the Sea. I've only ever heard the title. Some Hellish falls an irrepressible everyman as he struggles to remake his life and come to terms with his vision of what is possible and important for him and those around him. An immersion in the rich, surprising, and vivid contemporary fishing culture, Some Hellish is some inventive, some compelling, some compassionate. It's some book. Okay. Brilliant and moving, Some Hellish tears a hole between the ordinary and the fantastic, the sacred and the profane. It is uncomfortable, sometimes painful, but also startling and beautiful to have things opened up like that, to see right through. I mean, okay. I mean, we have to read the first chapter. The first chapter is long. It's 36 pages. So we'll see how that goes. You know, I have a feeling that this is gonna be a no. Just because, like, do I really want to read about fishermen? And I don't know. I don't know if those stories are for But I'll read it and let you know. It's It's a few hours later. I'm back home. I read 2 pages and just no. The writing style for me didn't flow, and I have no idea what it's going to be about, but something that I don't think I'm interested in. A man and a boat, and yeah, so that's a no. I have, how many more do I have left to read of the fiction? I have one more. I think this is it. And then I will have accomplished what I wanted to accomplish today. This is gonna be a no. It seems good. Like, it seems like it could be good and I may like it. I have to make hard choices, and this is just a no. So we'll do a recap and end the video. And now I just need to do a little recap, end the video, and then we're good to go. So to remember, to recap, I had 8 fiction books total, and I am keeping 4 and returning 4, so that's pretty good, half and half. Honestly, I kind of wish I was returning more because it's too many books. It's too many books. I have other books out from the library too that are like not Canadian books, so I have too many and I need to read them or just take them back. Anyway, I'm looking at them being like, come on, Sarah, like, call it, like, just put some back in the pile. You know you're not gonna read them, but I really want to try. Anyway, okay. Woof. Returning, Atlantic Canada, I'm sorry. East Grand Lake, Ontario, you're gone. Pretty Furious, Ontario, you're gone. And Eve, who, Paul Young was born in Canada, but he now lives in the Pacific Northwest. I'm pretty sure in the States, not in BC. Eve, gone. I really want to read it. I really want to read it because 1, it's about food. 2, it's set in Winnipeg, but like, I've started it and I'm not like, I don't think to pick it back up or keep reading it. I have it on my phone as an ebook and I'm not like, ooh, you know, there's a moment when I'm out and about and I can sit down and read my book on my phone for a few minutes. I'm not picking it up. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna give it a chance. Lessons in Fusion. The Immortal Woman, I'm going to keep because I did like the first chapter, but honestly, I think I'm gonna DNF it. I don't think I'm gonna go the whole way through. Gull Island, I am interested in, and I do think I will finish, and I should prioritize this for October. The Bridge Kingdom, same with The Immortal Woman, probably will DNF. Because I'm most likely going to be annoyed and disappointed by the main female character. Let's be real. That's how fantasy usually works out for me. All right, well, those are all the fiction books I read. The next video will be the nonfiction. There are 6 and a bonus one, the one that I'm currently reading. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you watch the next one and come to my October wrap-up video to see what I actually read. Bye.